Alright guys, you've probably come to this video if you want a fitness model physique, but currently you're feeling like you've got a bit of a skinny fat physique. You've not got a lot of muscle mass, but you've also got body fat. Now, not tons of body fat, but ultimately it's probably over your gut, over your abs. You've probably not got body fat elsewhere, or a lot of it. And ultimately, you don't know what the hell to do to look incredible because you've not, been through a big muscle gaining phase, and that's why you've not got a lot of tissue. So if you was to diet down, you're probably confused because you don't feel much better, etc. Don't worry, I'm going to explain it all to you today and how we get our guys like this, looking like this. And we do it time and time again, and there's an exact protocol. So I'm going to go through it with 5 simple steps to achieving an amazing physique. If you're feeling a bit skinny fat, let's go. First things first, as I just mentioned it, you probably have body fat and you probably don't have a lot of muscle mass. Now, a lot of guys will go immediately to muscle gain. The only thing with when you build muscle, and people don't realize this, is the more body fat you have on your body, the more body fat you will gain on a muscle building phase, right? So people don't realize when you gain muscle, you also gain fat. The leaner you are, when you build muscle and go through a muscle building phase, the leaner you are, the less fat you are going to gain. Also hormonally, the lower body fat you have, the higher your testosterone, which is going to be easier to gain muscle. So doing a muscle gaining phase when you already have body fat is just not an optimal thing to do. Can you do it? Yes, you can. But you're not going to feel great for a long time because you might gain some size, but you're going to gain excess body fat. There's going to be no definition. And ultimately, it would not be my ideal way of doing things. I want my guys to get quick wins. I want them to feel much better straight away, see definition, see this 6-pack, and also know that they're doing it in the right way for long-term, I suppose, satisfaction, but also long-term aesthetic results. So always, 99.9% of time, lose body fat first of all before you try and gain muscle. At the same time, you might not have been through a massive muscle gaining phase in your last 5-10 years, but you'll have some muscle. And when you normally diet down, you will look much better underneath. You look bigger. So don't think that you've got to gain muscle to look bigger. I'm not a big guy. I'm 80 kilograms at 6 foot. I look big with my t-shirt off because I just stay lean year round, and that's what the goal is. To look bigger even though you're not massive. So you look at some of the Hollywood actors and these film stars. Brad Pitt in Fight Club is probably weighing 65, 70 kilograms, like shredded, but looks quite big and looks defined. Now, you don't have to be that way, but ultimately what I'm trying to say is if you get leaner, you will automatically look better. And that way, we're going to speak about it later on, but that way you can see what you're playing with. And if you do need to gain muscle, you can do it then. When reality is when you've got a bit of body fat everywhere, you can't really see where you need to build size. Number 2 sounds obvious, but a lot of skinny guys will come to us who are very much into running, or maybe just being or not being well educated and thinking that cardio will drop body fat, and because it burns calories and a fat burning zone and blah, 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 blah. Whereas weight training should be the number 1 priority for your workouts. Weight training will maintain muscle. Weight training will increase testosterone. Weight training will make sure that you've got shape when you lose body fat, and that is the main thing. Of course, we want you to lose weight. People need to understand that if you want to get in shape, you need to lose weight. You need to lose body fat. It's the same thing, but ultimately, you need to maintain muscle. So if you don't lift weights, and we drop weight, you will probably drop muscle. And again, muscle is so hard to build and hard to maintain and keep. You do not want to lose it, especially when you get into your late 30s and 40s, where you lose muscle and you drop testosterone quite fast. We want to do everything we can to maintain muscle as we get older. So when we're thinking of, right, number 1, what is the priority when we're planning our workouts? It's always weight training first of all. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to train 5-6 times a week. Our guys will train 3 full body sessions Or if they really love training, the less busy guys will do 4 times per week. And if it's 3 times, it's full body. And if it's 4 times, we'll split it up. So 2 uppers, 2 lowers, mixed upper, mixed lower. Rep ranges will be around, I like 6 to 8 reps. But let's go 6 to 12 reps. 6 to 8 reps is more muscle building. I like that. 6 to 12 reps will maintain a good amount of muscle. So yeah, 3 or 4 sessions per week, 6 to 12 reps. You can always focus on progressive overload, but you're probably not going to always get stronger in a deficit because ultimately we're trying to lose body fat. So yeah, maintain muscle, lift weights, forget the cardio, forget all that. Main priority is maintaining muscle. Next, I'm going to talk about protein and the levels that you should be taking in. So if you're a skinny fat physique, you need to make sure that, again, we're maintaining muscle, losing body fat. I've spoke about weight training as a stimulus to maintain muscle. So that's what you've got to think about. Is my body needing to maintain muscle? So number 1, maintain muscle by lifting weights. Number 2, maintain it with a protein intake. Simple equation, 1 gram per pound of body weight. This can go high when you're trying to build muscle, but for now we're trying to lose body fat. So 1 gram per pound of body weight. So most guys, 160 grams minimum. 160 to 180 will cover most guys. So first things first, always hit your protein intake. So we're looking at calories and protein as the main drivers for a calorie deficit. Once you've got the calories nailed and you know what amount of deficit you are, so hit your maintenance calories and then hit like 300 to 500 below that to make sure that you're in a nice deficit, not too much. And then the protein intake is key. So once the protein intake is there, that you know then, right, well, whatever happens, you know, if I lose weight, if I lose scale weight, I'm lifting weights, I'm hitting my protein level to make sure that I maintain muscle. Right, next thing I want to speak about is cardio and how it shouldn't be focused on for fat burning. Ultimately, yes, you can be in a fat burning zone, but ultimately, I want you to think old school bodybuilder. So lifting weights heavy and walking. Walking is super low intensity. It's not going to eat into your muscle, whereas when we talk about like 7 to 10 out of 10 intensity for 60 minutes, it's not great for maintaining muscle. Your body will dip into its muscle stores. And if you do this constantly, and a lot of people do cardio every single day, it's gonna make you a smaller version of yourself, not a better version of yourself, not a stronger version. So everything that we're doing is optimizing, maintaining muscle and dropping body fat. So what we give our guys on Lifestyle Lean is low intensity. So walking, 10K steps a day. Try and start on 8 to 10K if you're a bit lower than that, and then we can always bump that up as we go along. There's no magic in steps. Any kind of cardio is output, so it's burning calories. You can play golf, you can play football, you can run, you can play rugby, you can do anything. Everything is output, and that's why people think cardio equals fat burning. It doesn't. What cardio does is make you hungry, and if you're at that 7 to 10 level of intensity for longer than 45 minutes, the body's going to not maintain as much muscle as it would do if you was just lifting and just walking. So that's why it's not bad for you. It's great for fitness. Obviously, it's cardiovascular health, but ultimately, if we can walk, it's not going to make you as hungry as running. It's not going to be as time consuming, because we want you to be able to live an active lifestyle and just have walking meetings and walk to the to work and walk to the gym, etc. So I'd rather you do that, because we work with busy guys who can't do lots of cardio. But if they do have 30 minutes for cardio, do the opposite. So do the high intensity stuff. So keep it under 30 minutes, keep it high intensity. And ultimately, I love interval training. Interval training for fat loss is amazing. So walking, sprinting, 60 seconds hard, 60 seconds easy, 10 rounds, a little bit of a warm up, a little bit of a cool down. That's a 30-minute session. And basically that is the last part of the puzzle for fat loss. In the hierarchy of fat loss, when we're doing movement, weight training first, then it's walking, then it's high intensity intervals. I wouldn't even put on running for fat loss. That's what I would, them three, for actual training stimulus for fat loss. And then last but not least, of course, once you've hit your protein target, you've been lifting weights 3 or 4 times per week, you've been walking, you're dropping body fat week on week. A good goal to have is 1 to 2 pounds per week. That's a really consistent average goal. Once you get all the way down to a 6-pack physique, and you can take it as far as you want, then you can go, actually, do you know what? I look incredible. I feel amazing. Or it might actually be that, you know what, I want to build muscle now. And that's cool, of course. I'm not against building muscle. I think every guy should go through a good 6-month phase of building muscle, but it needs to come from a low body fat position. So get lean first of all. Then we can reverse things. We can start increasing calories, going back up. We can start decreasing steps so that the energy we're consuming can go to muscle building, muscle repair, etc., protein synthesis, and then it can be a long-term muscle building program. As you gain muscle, you will gain a little bit of body fat. Remember when we said you lose muscle, you lose fat, you gain muscle, you gain fat. It all kind of works the same. So ultimately, you will gain a little bit of body fat, but now you know over time, if you gain a bit of body fat, you can do what I've just said, and you can implement a fat loss protocol. And the way that we do our muscle gaining programs with our guys is we might do like a 6-week calorie increase, and then if there's been any body fat increase, we'll do a 2-week diet. So we might go 6 weeks of building, you might gain a little bit of body fat, 2-week mini diet. We go again, 6-week gaining, mini diet. You don't have to do that way, it's just a nice way of always getting stronger and bigger and then not really feeling as fluffy. You'll always feel a bit fluffy because you've been shredded and you're not shredded anymore. You might be a little bit, tiny bit less defined. But ultimately, you've got to accept that. You're always going to be a little bit tiny bit less defined when you are building muscle, but there's a way of being slightly lean compared to no lean at all. And that's with the approach that I just said, which is 6 weeks building, 2 weeks of a little mini cut, chopping off any body fat. So guys, hope that helped. Just go into detail on everything that I would do. If someone came on program tomorrow as a skinny fat physique, that's exactly what I would do. Make sure they lose body fat, make sure they maintain as much muscle as possible, lift weights or start lifting weights, increase your movement. If you're going to do cardio, high intensity, if you're not going to do cardio, it's not an issue. And then ultimately, once they are lean, boom, we'll go for a 6-month muscle building plan. Either slow increases and then pullbacks, or if they didn't want to do that, they just wanted to do 6 months of big muscle increase, and then we do another diet. And that's when the guys out there with amazing natural physiques, it's because every year they'll do a bulk and then a cut. So if you didn't know what a bulk and a cut was, that's what this essentially is. But I would always do the cut first. So you've got a really nice, I suppose, template of what needs work on, and then you can always add to it. So guys, if you like that, like, subscribe, give me any feedback. I'm going to do more of these talks to just explain, because people need simple explanations, and people always ask, how do we get the results that we get? So I'm just going to lay it all out. So get at it. Any questions, get them in the comments.